former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, former Kaduna Governor Nasir El-Rufai, and former Sokoto State Governor Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, along with other political allies, paid a Sallah visit to former President Muhammadu Buhari at his Kaduna residence. The high-profile visit, which cuts across political divides, came just days after governors of the ruling All Progressives Congress also visited the former president, fueling fresh speculation about realignments ahead of the 2027 general elections. Bello Musa has the latest from Kaduna.
In a session of shifting alliances, political heavyweights from across party lines have been trooping to the home of former President Muhammadu Buhari. The visit, especially by opposition figures, have sparked speculation about behind-the-scenes moves, hinting at a possible reconfiguration of political forces as 2027 approaches. After a closed-door meeting with Buhari, Atiku Abubakar briefly addressed journalists but remained tight-lipped about the details of their conversation.
I don't have a right to be friends to anybody again, whether political or non-political. They're all my friends. No, all what I can say is that, there is an attempt by, the major political parties to come together and form a strong opposition.
Shortly after the visit, Nasir El-Rufai made headlines by announcing his defection from the APC to the Social Democratic Party SDP. He was one of the key figures who accompanied Atiku to Buhari's home.
Sallah greeting to our leader, former President Muhammadu Buhari. That's all. That's why we came. I came during the Ramadan, and Vice President Atiku Abubakar thought we should come and greet him for Sallah. I wasn't in the country during Sallah, so I joined him. And we've done that. That's it.
El-Rufai later revealed that he sought Buhari's counsel before making his move. However, in a swift twist, the former president clarified in a statement that he remains loyal to the APC. Atiku also reaffirmed his commitment to the opposition PDP, but given the fluid nature of Nigeria's political landscape, only time will tell what this visit truly signifies. Bello Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
We have joining us from Anambra State virtually, Emmanuel Osemeka, public commentator, to further speak on this visit. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on News Hour tonight.
Good evening, and thank you for having me.
All right. Do you think people are reading unnecessary meanings to these meetings? Seeing as the APC met with the former president a few days ago, and now a coalition of opposition members are meeting with him today.
Well, you see, thank you once again, yes, Mr. Chairman. You see, the reality is that Nigeria is a theater of political, all kinds of political absurdity, if I can use that word advisedly. If you recall, in 2013 through 2014, the visits were to Abdul Qatar. And of course, when you dial, to 2025, the visits are now to Kaduna, to the immediate past President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, what informs this kind of visit is that when a leader that has ruled the country and garnered so much support, and garnered so much followership, like President Muhammadu Buhari, who has a cult-like following in the 19 states of the north, and of course some part of the south, who became president twice from 2015 to 2023. And you go back and look at the life of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is the most luckiest or most privileged Nigerians who, to have had the opportunity to rule Nigeria for upward of 12 years and above at different times. You will see that they command enormous following, and as such, politicians tend to visit them, and when those visits happen, it is either for consultation or to discuss issues that affect the nation, or to have them, speak to their supporters to either support whatever cause the visitors are pushing for. So that's exactly what's going on right now. Whether they want to call it Sallah visit or they want to call it Ramadan visit or whatever visit they call it, the reality is that it is part of the alignment and realignment of political forces across the federation for 2027 general election.
So do we think that, what do you think rather about former President Buhari? Does he have the political currency or wherewithal to spend ahead of the 2027 election, seen as he's been sought after?
Oh, absolutely. A man like former President Muhammadu Buhari, who is the leader of the group, the CPC group that formed the APC. If you look critically, as a political watcher and a student of Nigerian political history, you will see clearly that the government of President Muhammadu Buhari centered largely around, members of the CPC group. And when you look at also the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you will see that his government is centered around the ACN group, the Action Congress of Nigeria, which joined forces with CPC and other parties to form the APC as of today. So President Muhammadu Buhari is the leader of the CPC group, which former Governor Nasir El-Rufai is a member. So it's a political family, and you can see that they are seriously cutting this political group or the political family. So I call it the CPC political family. That is the beautiful bride as of today, because the reality is whoever wins the majority of the vote from the north will form the government in 2027.
All right, now we're seeing this alliance between former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. What do you make of that relationship?
Many have described the Nigerian politicians as bereft of ideologies. And if you look at APC, you look at PDP, you look at Labour Party, you look at all the political parties, you will see on paper they differ ideologically. But the drivers of each of these political parties, when you listen to them and when they align or realign, you realize that there is no clear-cut political ideology that drives these individuals or political heavyweights. So most political parties tend to become vehicles for actualization of political power and authority. So, but the reality is that at the end of the day, it's all about grabbing power. That's just what it is. It's all about kicking out the sitting government, just like 2015 happened, and getting in a new set of government, new set of drivers of the nation Nigeria. So that's basically what it's all about. It's not about Atiku or about El-Rufai differing politically. Don't forget, Atiku was the one who brought El-Rufai into the limelight as far back as 2002, 2001, when he became the BPE Director General.
Can you hear me? All right, so just before you go, what do you make of President Buhari? Do you think that he would go against the party that brought him into power in 2015?
If President Olusegun Obasanjo could go against PDP, then trust me, when the chips are down, the general will ask his full soldiers to go in the direction he wants when the time comes. Don't forget, in 2023, he never wanted this particular government. He was more or less forced, to accept inevitable. So, but we will see. It's going to be an interesting ride, leading up to 2027. And we're going to be here watching, analyzing.
All right, thank you so much, Emmanuel Osemeka, for joining us on News Hour tonight, giving us your insight on the visits to former President Muhammadu Buhari.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine.